Our first podcast, Human Behind the Tech. I wanted to for a long time podcast in YouTube. So I wanted to start with my best friend of the like. So this are human. What are the things the people they are doing on? What is the project they are working on? So what is their day to day life would look like? And yeah, something around that. Please introduce yourself. What is your background and which college you studied and how's your job going on?
Hey, you want my college details as well? Okay, fine. Yeah, let's go with it. Yeah, so if you haven't read my name yet, my name is Aftab. I work as a software engineer at Abilytics. My focus is mostly around DevOps and cloud, even though it's software engineer as a role. So yeah, for fun, I host meetups. Talk at events and come at podcasts like this, which is basically my first time here. But then again, I'm just gonna add this to my resume. So there's that. Other than that, yeah, I had a bachelor's degree from CUSAT, Cochin University of Science and Technology. I'm not sure how many of you know that, but if you do know, and if there are a few folks who are watching from CUSAT, hi from my side. So yeah, my bachelor's was on electronics, and I'm doing IT jobs right now. So another
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
from my side.
So after like most of the people they have a doubt on how the switch happened because like even people who are studying in computer science they face a lot of struggles in getting job these days. So how's your journey from the EC background and electronics background to computer science? How the shift happened?
Okay, it is kind of a long story, but then again, I'll just make it short as possible for the sake of this uh, video. So, anyways, I have worked in, I did an internship in an electronics company. I did not quite like the experience around it. I mean, it was more like, what do you say? There was a strict hierarchy between everyone who's there, even a new joinee and the people who has the same number of experience. I mean, there were a few clashes here and there. I It wasn't a fun environment to work in, and I'm not saying it's the same case everywhere. There might be. I mean, mine would be an exception, to be honest. But then again, I thought I'd just go ahead with you know something else. That's how I was pretty good at 3D modeling back in college. I used to do Blender, made a few 3D art here and there. I used to post it in my Instagram. Through that, I got a job at an entertainment company. I mean, it's a tech-tainment company where, um, yeah, I joined as a junior software engineer. Worked a couple of months there. I was into UI that time because I was good at 3D modeling and art. They put me in UI. Then finally, I thought, no, this is not my cup of tea. Then I got into the community and knew about cloud DevOps. Docker was something I was so passionate about back then, so I started learning about it. Then I got a job at Abilytics. Now it's completely cloud and DevOps. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, So you mentioned about the community perspective, right? You are the
Mhm.
taking care of the Kochi, a Grafana community. So what makes you to the Grafana community? So why you have chosen Grafana? Because these things I have a personal question also. Uh, why you are advocating for Grafana and how's the journey with Grafana? So how do you compare Grafana with other observability tools?
Okay, that's actually a tough question here. Okay, anyways, I'll just go with the simple explanations that can be said. So, anyways, why Grafana? Okay, this wasn't actually intentional. I mean, I got into Grafana, accidentally. I mean, my boss, he asked me to write a blog on Grafana a few years back. And back then, I did not know what Grafana was. He wanted me to write the latest version of, I mean, write about the latest version of Grafana and compare it to the previous version. And I was a person who did not know what Grafana even was. So I started looking into it, and I did complete the blog with a few A tools and some research and all. But after that, when I started working on Grafana, it felt good. I mean, it's something I liked. That's how I got into Grafana. Then there were a few projects in my company where we had to compare other tools and work with other observability tools. So yeah, that's how it was. Now Grafana had a good community in and around all over the world. So I thought maybe, just maybe, I'll just register for being an organizer of a meetup group in Kochi because we didn't have one. And that way I got selected being a meetup organizer. And yeah, here I am. I'm not the only one. There is another organizer along with me. So yeah, that's how.
So, and you are also a Grafana champion.
Yeah.
So, how's the Grafana champion? Because like coming from a
Yeah.
background, like you don't know about anything about Grafana, and now we are a Grafana champion.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, again, being a Grafana champion, getting to become a Grafana champion wasn't actually a goal. It was, what is it? It was more like a side effect.
Side
Okay.
effect.
I mean, yeah, I used to try out different features in Grafana and, build dashboards, share my dashboards in LinkedIn and other platforms. I used to talk about Grafana and all those things in various meetups and all. Then I used to organize Grafana meetup. So then I thought maybe why not take this a step further? And I registered for the Grafana Champion. It took me like 2 months for the reply, but then again, yeah, I'm a Grafana champion now. It's been like 6 months now. Not 6 months. It's oh man, this February it will be 1 year now.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank-
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, being a Grafana champion is pretty awesome. You get to know almost everything that's happening inside the Grafana community. Uh, you get to know about the latest, features happening, and I mean, being released in Grafana. You're the first person to try it out, so it's cool.
Hmm. So like in 2 weeks before, I guess, like you and your friend like released a project GitHub Wrapped. So can you please tell me about more about the project, like the idea behind that project, and is it possible for us to show a demo, or like you just give a link so that the people they can try and you can explain a bit about those projects?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so uh, Git Wrapped 2025 is something. Um okay, I'll put it this way. I wanted to try something out using vibe coding. Okay, I'm not a professional programmer. I'm not that aware of how React or TypeScript or even say, let's just say Python works. But then again, I wanted to build something. So I thought, why not start with something simple and which in turn it did not turn out to be that simple when I started with it. But then again, this was the whole point of starting it. So I thought about creating something like GitRap because we all love Spotify Wrapped, right? I mean, every year you'll get a what do you say? You get a notification says, yeah, your year in review is available. You can just go ahead and click in, see how much time you listen to a few songs, what are your best artists, all those things. So as developers, we spend an entire year building, committing, breaking things, fixing things, all those things. But we rarely, stop to reflect on the journey. And over the past couple of years, there were a few folks who has tried building this, and I mean, it was a big success. Like one from Remotion, I'm not sure if I'm spelling it correctly, but yeah, Remotion. I mean, they had a fantastic tool for getting this whole GitHub wrap thing. Then there was another tool last year by Gabriel Pinata. Then again, I'm sorry if I'm spelling his name wrong. So there are a lot of tools for the past couple of years. This year I could not find anything, so I thought maybe I'll start this year's trend. But then again, it did not become that trendy anyways. But yeah, it was something. So that's how me and my friend Mohammed, he's currently studying in NIT. Yeah, so we've worked together in a company. So that's how I know. So yeah, we built something like Git Wrapped. We treated it more like a design product rather than a stats dashboard, which is more. This could be more personal. It's more like a whole design sort of thing.
Yeah, pretty interesting one. So I also tried, like, the main thing of this is the UI, like the UI and the font and all these things. Like so you couldn't say like it is not a trending, like it's a trending only. So the way you decided all the prompts, and because the reason why it is not trended is like it's not something which people really interested. Like if you say about Spotify, right, so many people interested, even non-developers also not interested. Like let's say for example LinkedIn, right? So the LinkedIn Wrapped and Meetup Wrapped. So like it's a really interesting project, and so I also tried. And if is it possible for you to give any demo or something like that now, uh, or any
Um,
links
yeah,
for the people to try?
I mean, I could share a link. I'm not sure where to share the link to. So,
You can
uh,
just paste it over down, like post a command. There's a button will be there, so people they can try.
okay, let me mm, join the chat. Okay, I'll have to connect my YouTube. Seems okay. This is my first time in SteamYard, so
Even me too. Just seeing what are the features are there in the StreamYard.
Mhm. Okay. It seems like there are a few. We are having trouble connecting to your YouTube account. So
No issues,
uh,
like
maybe I
share it.
can share the URL with you.
Sure, sure.
Chinandi. Okay. 1 second.
So, what is the tech stack you are using in the backend for this one, and why you made it as an open source?
Okay. So the tech stack is, I mean, like I said, I wanted to keep it as simple as possible. And from a person who has least, developer knowledge, like I said, it was a vibe coded thing. So just giving you a heads up. We were focusing on, modern UI. So obviously we had to go with React
Okay.
and React.js. And then there was TypeScript. We also use GitHub APIs for collecting the stats from GitHub. So and to keep this even simpler, we hosted it in Vercel. So there's that. I mean, the URLs says it correctly. Yeah, I've shared it with you. So
Okay.
that is one thing. And another thing that I'm particularly proud of is the fact that I used some AI stuff into this as well.
You
Uh,
also a vibe coding engineer now, right?
yeah, you could see that.
You can proudly say.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so uh, I mean, this is the first time I'm trying out AI in an application. So yeah, that is
And
another
why you
thing.
made it as an open source?
Okay, so this is also something personal to me. When I started learning, IT related stuff, the pace, I mean, I was able to pick up the pace because there were a lot of code and everything that is available open source. Okay, for example, if you are trying out a lead code problem, there would be an open source repo with all the lead code solutions. Or say if you're trying a what do you say, Google Cloud Arcade game, I mean, most of you might have tried that. If you're trying that out and you're stuck in a particular challenge, there is like 90% chance that you might find an equivalent GitHub repo to showcase all the solutions for that. So yeah, that is one way I started learning everything. I mean, there is this whole cliche thing about me saying, and I wanted to give back to the community, but that's not only the case. Obviously, that is the case, but yeah, for people who are like me, like who does not really have a IT background, but then again wants to get into IT, these small projects, small codes, all those things available freely on GitHub is actually a huge thing. And yeah, this is not something I created completely by myself. This is an idea that has been there for a long time in the community itself. I mean, obviously it's GitHub and it's GitHub Wrapped. So yeah, I thought, well, then why not? We could just keep it open source.
Interesting. So, what is your next project, vibe coding project in your mind, or what is the your what is the problem you are facing currently right now to fix that, or to create any new project for your problems? So, what is your next project would be there?
Okay. So one thing that I would say is that I've tried looking into problems, okay, what other folks are facing, and me trying to fix it only makes those problems even more worse. So I stopped looking into others' problems, and I'm just focusing on what interesting things that I could build. So that is one way of doing it. You could, you know, build something to solve someone's problem and hope it works for them, or you could build something entirely new and let's just say everyone enjoys it. So I'm actually trying out a project from my side. I mean, it's nowhere close to being, deployed as of now. So yeah, I will be sure to update HNNB on this the first day I'm starting to planning to deploy it. So yeah, I'll be sure to share it through you itself. And,
Okay, cool, man. So the whole IT industry is like now talking about AI agents and MCPs. So you
mhm.
also gave a talk about MCP in your last Grafana meetup, I guess, in Kochi. So what is your take on the agents and how many agents you have built? And yeah, so pretty
Yeah.
much something about the AI agent stuff. What do you think
Okay,
according
so
to AI agent? Because like so many
yeah,
people are saying something agents can replace humans and agents can do the all these stuff, right? So what do you think AI agent according to you? And
okay,
have you built any agents for your stuff?
okay. So this is more like an add-on to my last answer, trying to solve others' problems. Okay. So I tried out building an AI agent, all those workflows and stuff using N8N, but like I said, it started making the problems even more complicated than it already is. So I just stopped doing that and focused on what's existing, how we can use that, all those things. So the technical side, I'm not sure I'm the right person to comment on that because AI, MCP, all those things are a few things that I have like 10 percentage knowledge about. So that is one thing. Now about the MCP part, I mean Grafana MCP is something that I used. I've tried out AWS MCP as well. Those are actually fun. When you think about it, you don't need to actually go to the console or you don't need to actually log into the Grafana instance to, get everything done. You can have it everything inside your chat itself. That is one amazing thing. Now, for the second part of your question, like, would this replace, us human beings and stuff? I mean, okay, so I'm just gonna borrow a few things that I heard from other various other meetups by people, great people. Uh, so yeah, one of them being even agents right now hallucinate. Okay, we hallucinate if we have a if we have a heavy lunch, we hallucinate. But for AI agents, it's not like that. It could hallucinate any minute. So that is one thing. The second thing being AI won't probably take our jobs like that, but someone who knows and someone who knows how to use those AI tools might replace us. So that is something I would like to share.
Yes, yes. So like many people are saying AI won't replace you. The people who are using AI can replace you.
Yeah, exactly.
So what is your favorite AI tool right now? So you can't live without that tool. So what would be that tool? I saw your memes and all. Like according to you, what is your favorite AI tool? You can't live in just a
Okay.
single minute.
Okay. So I actually have two. One of them being ChatGPT. Obviously, I mean, it is one of the most favorite AI tools out there. Not just because of how fast it is. ChatGPT has this way of remembering things about you. Or,
Yes.
I mean, the context for this is, I mean, it's top notch. Because if I switch a chat and ask something that I've mentioned like 2 or 3 months back, it would come out with an answer. So that was, I mean, I was actually amazed about that. Now, the second tool is most probably GitHub Copilot. GitHub Copilot with Sonnet 4.5 is the best combination that I've ever used for vibe coding. I mean, people who have been using Cursor could argue, but then again, Cursor, the credits get so, I mean, it gets exhausted so quickly in Cursor.
Okay.
But with GitHub Copilot and a student developer pack with me, so yeah.
So you are using GitHub Copilot inside VS Code or like or just in GitHub only?
No, inside VS Code. I actually don't like to use it in GitHub. I like to use it everything inside my own local system.
So have you tried anti-gravity and other Kiro from Amazon, other IDs?
Actually, I've tried out Kero like 2 weeks back for a personal project of mine. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's actually a pretty awesome tool. It's probably due to my lack of knowledge on how to use it. But then again, I did not try anti-gravity yet. I really look forward to trying it out. But I have tried Google's Stitch. Uh, you
Stitch.
know, yeah, Stitch. It's there. So
Oh,
I'm
something
not
new.
sure if yeah,
I'll
Google
try.
Stitch is a tool that can generate UI for you.
Oh,
So
interesting.
my initial draft for GitHub 2025, the UI, it was using Stitch from Google. But then again, I had to do a few iterations. I mean, you'll need to be very good at explaining things to AI tools, and it's much harder to explain to AI tools rather than explain to a human being. So that is something we need to be very good at. So yeah,
Yes.
after like 2 3 days of prompting, I got a final
For
UI.
the GitHub Wrap.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So like most of the people in my circle, they are worried about ChatGPT because what they are saying is like it is not giving the correct answer what I'm expecting, and it is taking a lot of times. And so the now the current industry, like everybody is talking about Google Gemini models. Like they are saying the new models, Gemini 3 models. So even I'm not sure because it is not generating good result for me also the Gemini, but I don't know why they are saying Google Gemini is the best model. Like so there is a two kind of way people they say. One is like they try and they give their own like the own experience, and there's a benchmark, right? So they see a benchmark and they are saying like Gemini models are the best model. Even I am like if you see the UI of ChatGPT and Gemini, right? ChatGPT is the best UI, I would say. Like you don't need to go and search for all these things. But if you see a Gemini, right, you don't know where it is actually there. Sometimes you will say something and it will give something. So even I don't know why people are saying big. See, I'm a big fan of ChatGPT. Whatever the thing is, because in IT industry, who's going to deliver the first? They are going to be in the
Mm.
long run, right? They
The
are going
golden
to
standard.
they say they are so they are only the even if they fail or something like that, but the name is still will be there. Right? But I don't think Gemini models are a really good models. So I'm saying it my from own opinions. So there are opinions of other people also. And yeah, so
Yeah.
Claude also good, but the main limitation is like they don't give a free as like ChatGPT,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
So that is the
That's
problem.
actually a problem. Yeah, that's true. But then again, when I have this, division for stuff. If it is content writing, I'll go with ChatGPT. If it is something related to research, like say I have a topic, I need to do some research on it, say see something if it is valid or not. I'd probably go with Gemini with the deep search option. And if it is something code related, I'd go with Sonnet, cloud models. So this is the way.
Oh, good. So what do you think about Perplexity?
Perplexity is more like, I haven't used it that much, but based on what I understood, it is very good for scraping data. I mean, it is more optimized for that. Whatever is there in the internet, it will be, it efficiently picks up all the data and gives it to you. So that is something good.
So also the image of our YouTube thing, right? So it is generated by Perplexity. So
Oh, wow.
Perplexity is really good in generating image also. Even see,
Okay. Yeah, that's something.
even if the people seeing for the first time, they say it is generated by human, all the text and all those things.
Mm.
But I gave your image and the content and the logo of the YouTube channel, and it generated the image for me in just like 10 seconds, within 10 seconds. You can't expect in ChatGPT also. So like
Yeah. So,
people can use Perplexity for image generation also. Like people who are seeing in
I
the
mean, that's a new knowledge for me.
So you mentioned about the Google product, right? Can you please tell again, like even I don't know about the project, the Google something you mentioned.
Google Stitch. Okay.
It's STICH, right?
Yeah, STITCH. Stitch
STIT.
dot with google.com.
Okay. So what do you think about Notebook LLM?
I haven't used that. I'm sorry
Okay.
about that. That is way above my,
Out of
topics
syllabus.
and syllabus. Yeah, it's
Huh.
out of syllabus for me. So, but yeah, AI tools and this notebook LLM. Or I mean, I've been planning to do some self-hosting with AL. Self-hosting LLMs. But then again, yeah, I need to try more AI stuff. That is something I really lack at. I've been exploring a lot of DevOps, cloud-related tools, but then again, I should come back to, AI tools as well. I'm pretty comfortable with DevOps and
What
cloud.
you
So,
already have.
so yeah, yeah. I need to get out of that.
So, is there any tool you have explored or people are talking about something in DevOps plus AI? Because a lot of people are searching for like DevOps tools integrated with AI, some stuff like because we have Grafana MCP and the other MCP also, but something which is associated with AI DevOps. Because now the trend is going around SRE something, AI SRE or AI Ops SRE something
Mhm.
around SRE kind of thing, but there is no such things as far as I remember with DevOps plus AI. So have you explored something or there was something people are talking about?
Yeah, actually, I did get a few, few queries on if I could test out a few products in LinkedIn. So one of the products was more like it was more like an AI SRE kind of tool. So it was more like what do you say? Almost every MCPs out there are bundled together into a single UI, so that whatever you ask, that MCP picks the data up and shows it to you. And some of the tools also try to start troubleshooting without us even triggering it. Once there is a spike in, let's just say, CPU utilization, that triggers it to start the troubleshooting process and rectify whatever the problem is. That was something I explored a few months back. But then again, to me personally, I did not feel that friendly to use. So yeah, that is a space that most of you might find it interesting to build something on. So
So
yeah.
what is the reason behind like the friendly way? Like you're afraid of giving your data, or like is it not self-hostable, or what is the reason behind that? Or it is not accessible easily, or it is tough to use, or what is the reason behind that?
Okay, so most of these tools are not self-hostable. Okay, that is one thing. For me, I'm a what do you say? I'm a home lab kind of guy. So I want everything inside my laptop or say inside my other systems that I have and own. Most of these tools run on the cloud. I mean, it's mostly because these AI models require huge resources. That is one thing that I don't actually support from my side because, like I said, I like everything to be inside my own system. The second thing being there is this user flow. I mean, whenever someone clicks on that particular tool, once they start that tool, they naturally get an idea on what this does. Say, for example, if you open ChatGPT, no one needs to tell you go click here and say this is where you type stuff, this is where you receive the data. So most of the tools are not that user friendly.
Hmm.
That is something. I mean, if you are someone with an experience of like 10 years of experience in IT, or let's just say a DevOps pro, then you might be able to decrypt what this UI is all about. But then again, for someone who just want to try out the product, it's not that easy.
Got it.
So yeah.
So like, what are the cloud you are familiar with, and what is your day-to-day cloud or the dashboard you see every day?
Okay.
Azure, AWS, or what is the
No,
cloud?
sure.
No
Yeah.
Azure.
No, sure. As of now, mostly my cloud platform. I mean, my work currently revolves around AWS.
So what is your favorite
Everything
AWS
is
service?
AWS. Yeah.
What is
I'm
your
sorry.
favorite AWS service?
My favorite AWS service. Okay. I would go with EC2.
Okay. Apart from
So
EC2.
that is okay. Apart from EC2,
S3 and other traditional
S3 is
services.
fine.
VPC.
S3 is fine. VPC is hard, kind of, because it's all networking things. I would probably go with Amplify,
Amplify.
AWS Amplify. Yeah.
Why?
Um, it is easier to host things in Amplify. I mean, I chose Versal to host my application because of how easy that is. Just import your repository and it's there. You don't even need to set up a CI/CD pipeline to do that. So similarly, you could do the same with Amplify as well. I mean, I haven't tried on um, a production grade system, but then again, based on what I have tried out, yeah, Amplify is good for both front end and back end hosting.
So in terms of ML, what service you prefer in Amazon?
I haven't tried out ML in Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is the next question? Yeah. So in AWS, right? What is the one thing which you want to improve in AWS? What is your current expectation? If it is changed right now, I would be really happy. What do you think? What service?
Service.
Because you
Okay.
face some problems in AWS,
Stack.
right? The fluctuation of that one. So
Mhm.
what would be that one?
Okay, one thing that I faced is okay, so if something failed, it is kind of hard to troubleshoot what went wrong. Okay, say your application is not running. If that I mean, if that is dependent on a few AWS resources like EC2, VPC, say an API gateway, all those things, you need to have a deep idea on where things might break in the first place so
Hmm.
that you can look into that directly. But if you have no idea on what these resources does, it is pretty hard to start looking. I mean, start to look for the error where it started from. So that
So
is
how
one
do
thing.
you basically architect the application, like the architecture of AWS, what the services, and how the flow will be there, the architecture, real production grade architecture.
In terms of real production grade architecture, so first and foremost, based on what I understood, you'll have to uh, talk to the application team as many times as possible to get their requirements up. So based on their requirements, we'll have to decide on what services we need to use and what services might be an overkill to use, because some services are obviously very costly. So yeah, there might be some application teams who would be insisting on putting their application on EKS, but most of them would only require an EC2 with an auto scaling. Uh,
Yeah,
so yeah, that I mean, these are a few considerations that we you know take into play when we start architecting things.
got it. So for the viewers, I met Aftab in KubeCon Delhi. So that's how we started our journey. And what do you think about CNCF, Kubernetes, and yeah?
Okay, CNCF is by far one of my favorite communities out there. Uh, and they're doing a pretty great job on supporting all these, uh, you know, cloud native tools for everyone. And as for their, what do you say, events, just because you mentioned KubeCon, they are pretty costly, but then again, it is very, very worth it. I mean, if you get a chance to be in a KubeCon, you know, I mean, even better if you get a chance to speak at a KubeCon. So
Yes.
that is something. I mean, that is something I am very looking forward to. Obviously, Ajananti would also be having such a dream to speak in a KubeCon stage.
Yeah, man. All my KubeCon talks are rejected. Still, I'm
Yeah,
searching for a way. I hope my talk will be accepted in 2026 KubeCon Mumbai.
yeah, yeah. Hopefully, I mean, mine as well. I mean, I've started planning on putting a CFP now for Kubernetes and other tools in CNCF. Kubernetes is an ecosystem on itself. I mean, because Kubernetes exists, there are other tools that came into picture. Like if there
Yes.
were no Kubernetes, you wouldn't have something like what do you say Cilium or maybe Istio, all those things. Because Kubernetes is there, these all people got jobs. That
Yeah,
is
man.
one way of putting it. But
Yeah.
there are a lot of communities out there just because Kubernetes is there. There are Kubernetes native communities. There are, Istio communities, there are Calico communities. Like, there are a lot of communities just because Kubernetes started becoming a thing.
Even Kubernetes, CNCF is there because of Kubernetes.
Yeah, you could say. So, yeah, I mean, it's an awesome tool. Over half of the internet is running on Kubernetes. So,
So, what do you take away about open telemetry? Because if you see the trending in CNCF landscape, the number one is Kubernetes. The second is open telemetry, because a lot of things are moving towards open telemetry way of getting the logs and matrices. As you are in the field, like the observability domain. So, what do you take away around the open telemetry?
Okay, so before OpenTelemetry, it was like you have a bunch of tools for, one tool for metrics, one tool for logs, for traces, some other thing. But when OpenTelemetry came into picture, you get to use, say, a vendor neutral tool, so that everything could be collected in a single place. So that is actually a big game changing thing, because that is a lot of overhead that has been solved. Otherwise, you'll have to use different structures for different applications, and now you just need to worry about open telemetry. So, yeah.
So coming back to Grafana again, so there are a lot of services in Grafana because they started first as a dashboard. Now there are a lot of things in Grafana itself. So what is your favorite service or tool inside Grafana that you advocate most?
Okay. Actually, I advocate everything equally, if you ask me that way. But then again, what I loved the most about Grafana is its scalability and, say, its dashboard capability. And you don't see that level of customization in dashboards in any other tools, I mean, by far. Uh, and say you have different tools for different telemetry signals, like for logs you have Loki, for traces you have Tempo, all those things. And if you have more logs coming in, you can just scale Loki. You don't need to scale the whole platform itself. So that is a very interesting thing about Grafana. Mostly it's about, customizability for me. So
So what do you think about Grafana Alloy?
okay, Grafana Alloy, yeah, this was actually something I tried out long back, and I personally loved it. I mean, I had a talk on telemetry pipelines, on how to get all the data to a single point and then distribute it to respective places. So Grafana Alloy did a pretty good job when I started building my own telemetry pipeline. It is also vendor neutral. It is more like what do you say? Uh, a open telemetry collector on steroids. It has many, uh, you know, other capabilities as well. So it is something worth exploring for other signals as well. So, yeah.
So final question. So what is your advice or your suggestion for the upcoming DevOps people, what they have to do in terms of DevOps? Because a lot of people again did wanted to get into job in DevOps. So and a lot of things they wanted to do with AI agents, other stuff. So what is your final answer for them? So to get, because there are a lot of tools in DevOps as well. So for containers, there are Docker, Podman, and observability. There are a lot of tools. So what do you suggest someone if you are start if some they are starting toward the DevOps career?
If you have started thinking about DevOps, then I saw this meme the other day. You've seen Lion King, right? The father lion will be saying this particular statement to the son lion. It is more like everything the sun touches is your problem to solve. So that is something DevOps people should be aware of. Everything, it might even be an application error, but then again, it's something you'll have to fix yourself. Uh, but yeah, I mean, if you're starting off with DevOps, I would obviously, ask you to start with Git, because that is one of the few interesting tools for DevOps out there, because versioning code, I mean, it's not just for versioning code, you can version everything if you think about it. So yeah, start with Git, then go with Docker. Once you get an idea on why Docker has been introduced in the first place, I mean, it's actually a beautiful tool to use. Then you could use Podman if you're into fancy container stuff, but then again, as a beginner, Docker is very, very more than enough. Then go ahead with Kubernetes. In between, it's better to know some Linux and cloud. So it's not just better, it is very good if you have more knowledge into Linux and cloud. So yeah,
Got it.
this is something you could start off with.
Thanks, Aftab. Thanks for spending times on your weekend. Thanks a lot for spending your time